Welcome to Grow Overload. I'm Anthony. One thing that I wanted to take a look at and dive into a little bit more is the success of the AM4 platform and the support of that. I noticed a couple, what is this, a couple weeks back that Video Cards had an article about the AMD 300 series motherboards and the fact that they were still getting new BIOS updates. Whereas, you have on the Intel side, that's pretty much gone, right? For that same 7 years ago, that would be what, Intel 300 boards and around there. And those are not getting the BIOS updates. So the longevity of the platform, I think, is one thing that people are very much attracted to, right? There's this whole, I'm going to put some right to repair stuff in here, right to repair, right? That's been a thing, and being able to have the upgradability is kind of along the same lines. And not everyone can afford or wants to afford a new motherboard and CPU combo every couple of years. And if you can have 3-4 generations of a CPU in one platform and you just drop it in and gain more performance, that is a huge benefit to those users that want to do that. So yeah, I just want to show this article off, and I will leave this in the description below as we dive in and I give you some more thoughts about this. But they were going through, it's what, 6 years and 8 months since the launch, which very long time. And Reddit's been on this a while here, and as you see, the updates here from Aegis firmware updates, along with security enhancements, which is good because AMD has had some vulnerabilities in these CPUs, as I've covered in some past videos, so go check those out as well. But you're getting some of those updates to be able to mitigate those vulnerabilities on those architectures. And then also the Ryzen 5 5600X3D with Vcache was released this year. So there's even even though that this may be the last CPU for this, for those of you that have the ability, or even a new system that just wants something cheap, pretty good at gaming there with the 5600X3D, with the Vcache stuff, you have that option. And I think these are, if you invest in something like that, you'll see, you have, even with AM5, you have more comfortability of knowing that investing in the platform, let's say 5 years down the road, you're probably still going to get some sort of update on the BIOS side, which is huge, right? 2017, that was released, so 6 years ago, that was released, the 300 series, and has not seen an update since 2021, according to Video Cards here. Intel is much quicker to abandon, which has sucked. I have some Intel machines out here that are a little bit older in the HEDT market, and yeah, I'm very disappointed on some stuff. So been trying to work around a few things, but we'll leave it at that. But anyways, we go into here, and at the end, right, Lisa Su did say the AM4 platform isn't going anywhere and will continue for years to come. Regarding the AM5 platform support, said that AM5 will be durable rig like AM4. I think AM4 will remain on the market for a few more years. So, thanks for Video Cards putting this together there. But let's jump back here. But just thinking on that, right? If you have this opportunity that AMD has with setting an expectation with AM4, them really getting back into the market of saying, hey, this is how it's going to be. Hey, this is our new platform. It's going to be performant, and we are going to have a long time support for this. Being able to drop that CPU in, getting that extra performance, that's a big deal. And I think AMD putting that foot forward and saying we're going to do the same thing for AM5. Now, we'll see if it's exactly the same thing. I really do hope that we get 3-4 generations of, or 3-4 CPUs, even if it's like a half generation, kind of like Zen or the Ryzen 2000 series was, plus. If you get some sort of that, 4 CPU numbers out of it, you get some benefit there for you buying into the platform and using it and supporting it over that life generation. Now, your chipset may not support the latest everything on that latest one, as we did see with AM4, right? There was more PCI Express stuff later on. You had newer PCI. You had more VME drives on those boards than the first ones, etc. Happened over time, but you're still going to get support for your CPU. You're not going to be left off on that generation for that whole socket. And I think that's one thing. That's one downside to Intel. Well, one good side to Intel is that every couple of years you get a new board, you're on a new CPU, and that's kind of going to be the latest platform, and you're updating. But that's extra money out of your pocket. The downside is that Intel feels like they've moved on enough that they don't have to put out support or get those to help out their these motherboard manufacturers with new microcode to be able to be pushed to those processors to have another update or anything else, or to mitigate really even minor, more medium to minor issues. I bet you if there was a Zen bleed or even Spectre Meltdown again, if there's something as big as Spectre Meltdown, I'm sure that would be pushed out to maybe some of these older ones like they did before. But it seems like Intel is going off. Now, is that a culture thing? Is that a money issue on Intel? I'm leaning towards they just don't have the resources right now to be able to do that, and maybe in the future they do have support for that. But this is something to think about as we look. If you're updating every year and getting rid of every other year, it doesn't really matter. It's for those people that are sitting on the same platform that do want to have a little bit better performance, want to upgrade their CPU. And this is something that if they're looking at, it's something that they should very much consider going forward. A drop in CPU, if you're only buying the CPU, still having the same RAM, motherboard, and get the little extra performance from that IPC gain and performance gain, take it. And I think that's where we're going to see differences as this comes along. We're going to see what NVIDIA does. NVIDIA, my friend sent this to me, and I was like, I'll see it when I believe it. But I guess NVIDIA did announce it, and I wanted to mention it at some point, is that NVIDIA is going to be going to yearly releases in graphics cards. And one thing that people do hold on to is graphics cards until they feel like they need a new one. And they can just upgrade that device as well. Well, CPUs are kind of the same thing. Are people going to be upgrading every year for GPUs, or is it trying to get the generations between GPUs far enough so that then it makes you feel like you need to upgrade in order to have performance in an area that makes sense for the games you play? I have questions there of the motive of NVIDIA moving this, but another thing is that you have the option, though, in all these markets to upgrade your GPU at any point in time to something a little bit faster. It's easy. It's PCI Express. You might need PCI Express 4, if let's say they come up with PCI Express 5 cards to get that full, support. But it's just something to keep in mind, right, of what you're capable of. And having CPUs kind of doing the same thing of just swapping that in and out is making the CPU just as effective as a GPU without having to undo everything in your computer, take it down, decide if you want a new case or not, and unplug everything out, plug everything back in, right? It's here you just take off the cooler, put new thermal paste, drop in the new CPU, new thermal paste, and you're back off to the races. Maybe a BIOS update here to get that to work, but that's it. I think if you have boards with BIOS flashback, these are all good things. So let me know what you think about the AMD support 6 years plus after their first release of their motherboards, still getting support. Let me know if what you think Intel is and what your thoughts are on that, and NVIDIA of their yearly releases. Do you think that they'll do something there as well? I want to thank you so much for supporting Gravely Low and helping this channel grow. I really do appreciate it. I'm just getting back. I was under the weather here for a couple days, so I'll be starting to pump out videos for you guys here soon. I got the D-brand skin for the framework that I hope to get out for you soon, and I do owe you a couple more other videos. So with that, I will get those done here now that I'm feeling better. But with that, thank you so much. um, for just the support and everything else. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. It really does help out the channel. Until next time, God bless.